Welcome, everyone, to the Woodbridge Channel's coverage of the 49th Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. I'm Craig Coughlin. I'll be bringing the parade with my friend, Dan Harris. Dan, it's nice to be with you.
Yeah,
Beautiful day for a parade.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Over 100 units this year. We have our Grand Marshal, Ken Egan, our honorees, Jim McFadden and Mary Natal.
Now, Dan, the parade is put on by the American Irish
That's right.
Club. Mayor McCormick's always clear to say it's not the town who does
That's
it.
right.
It's the club. Now, you've been the parade chairman. Tell me what goes into that.
Oh, geez. Well, we start around September of every year with parade chairman, parade vice chairman. They have monthly meetings. A lot goes into it, but also not to shortchange John McCormick, but the town does a lot of work. Public Works, Police Department, Parks, you name it. It's a real team effort here in Woodbridge.
Well, it feels like spring. There's excitement in the air. It's a great day for a parade. So sit back, relax, enjoy the parade, everybody. We'll be with you for the start in just a moment. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's. Good afternoon. My name is Daniel Harris. I'll be your co-host this year for this year's Woodbridge St. Patrick's Day Parade, the 49th Annual Parade. I'll be joined here momentarily by my co-host, Craig Coughlin. We want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. We have a beautiful day, a little cool, a little cloudy, but otherwise a beautiful day. I see here on screen we have the parade approaching us, and we'll be I'll be announcing some of those organizations very shortly. This parade, as has been said, is put on annually by the Woodbridge American Irish Association. It's an organization that's been around for over 60 years. It's a civic and cultural organization that puts on not only the parade, but park cleanups, collects money for veterans at the Menlo Park Veterans Home. It runs trips, particularly sometimes to Ireland. A really great organization. You do not necessarily have to have Irish heritage in order to join it. And we meet monthly at our new clubhouse at the Acacia Teen Center at 95 Port Reading Avenue. Coming into focus here, we have the Central Jersey Leathernecks Marine Corps League Color Guard. They're carrying the Old Faithful. They are led by Sergeant Kelly Terrell, also of Woodbridge High School. The four Marines are dressed in their dress blues, and they have been honored in previous years with many regional Best Color Guard awards. Let's take a look.
They established a junior ROTC unit in Woodbridge.
There they are. Gentlemen, thank you for your service, the United States Marines, the few and the proud. Following them is the John Basilone Detachment 190 Marine Corps League, led by the Venerable Karen Neary, a retired educator. We're going to be focusing a bit on education here today, as many of the American Irish Association honorees this year have a nexus to not only public service, but in particular education, so we'll be focusing there. The American Irish Association annually selects amongst themselves their parade committee, 5 people to honor as their American Irish honorees for the year. I'll be introducing you to those individuals throughout the parade and coming up very shortly. All right, see, we have the kiddos out here today. I'm based here in El Ranchito Restaurant, located at Fulton Street and Main Street. Comfortable here inside. I'll be bringing you coverage throughout the day. It's about an hour and a half long parade. And the 49th, as I had mentioned, and we're looking forward to the 50th anniversary. And the Marine Corps Detachment is just passing us here.
John, take it away.
Okay, so I'm here right now with Jim McFadden, Irish Man of the Year for this year's St. Patrick's Day Parade here in Woodbridge. Jim, welcome with your wife, Kathy.
Thank you, John. Pleasure to see you.
Likewise. So let's talk about how you got to being named Irish Man of the Year. I think it's certainly a great honor to have that from the American Irish Association of Woodbridge. I want to talk about all the years that led up to this. Let's talk about a little bit. I know you were raised in Carteret, one of 6 children, which is not foreign to any Irish family. One of 5, but not quite at the 6. After high school in Carteret, you went to Trenton College. You studied phys ed and health. You came back to the school system in Carteret, where you actually, again, attended, and you ended up being principal. I remember also, if I'm correct, you were a coach for girls softball, you were a coach for track gymnastics.
Gymnastics, track and field, and girls basketball.
Okay, so you put a lot of time into the Carteret school system, and I believe 30. You said 31 years when we were talking earlier.
Yes.
Right. Okay, I think that's great. Now you're also involved with. You've been a member or an honorary member of the Carteret PBA. I'm sure over your years in Carteret, you gave a lot back there.
Yes.
You've been to Ireland, right? I think you've researched some of your heritage back there. Am I correct?
Absolutely.
Which I think is really great. You joined the American Irish Association after you retired. You jumped on the ramp committee and some of the other committees, the parade committee. And I think one of the things I really wanted to talk about with you today is that you had the honor of being parade chairman a couple years ago, but the pandemic hit.
Wiped us out.
Wiped us out. All that work put together. But what was born out of that was you had come up with an idea about the Halfway to St. Patrick's Day celebration, which, again, I've attended the first one. I might have been at the second one, I'm not sure, but it was a great event. So talk about that and talk about how that here is going to be probably almost your legacy, because that's going to go on. American Irish are not giving that up.
No, I don't think so. It's been a great event for us, and we just felt that we needed to bridge the gap between not having the parade one year, pandemic wiping us out, and we like to put ourselves out in the community and do what we can to help. We thought that would be a way to raise some money, help the community.
Well, it certainly has started off really well your first 2 years. And having, like today, we're lucking out with weather in the 40s. The sun is partly out. There's no snow on the ground. But when you have that event in September, you really can't go wrong. It's a great time of year.
It is. Although the first one was a scorcher.
Oh,
It's terribly warm that day.
It was hot. I do remember that. But again, I've been out here too sometimes, raining and snowy and cold, but you've had great success the first 2 years. I wish you many more years of that. That's okay, but as Kathy, as your phone's going off, that's okay. So the two of you have been blessed with 3 children, 3 grandchildren. Anything you want to say about having the honor today of being Irishman of the Year?
It's a very humbling experience. I thank the parade committee and the association for naming me their Man of the Year. It's just an honor I never thought.
It's a great honor. Your family's proud. Kathy, any parting words?
We're proud to be members of the American Irish, and we wish everybody a great parade and a happy St. Patrick's Day.
Right. Nice seeing both of you today. Let's go back to Dan and Craig.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Once again, we have the John Basilone Detachment 190 Marine Corps League. John Basilone, for those not familiar, was a World War II veteran. He was first recognized with the Medal of Honor for his heroism, and then later on a USO tour, he couldn't stand the idea of his brothers and sisters fighting overseas, so he re-enlisted and unfortunately passed, once again serving and being recognized with the Navy Cross, one of the U.S. Marines' most distinguished veterans. He's from Raritan, New Jersey. Still today, annually, they have a parade. They have a 5K recognizing John on his birthday every September. He is a hero in my mind, and I'm sure in others, and we commend those Marines for keeping his legacy alive. John Witch, who do you have for us there?
Okay, I'm catching up right now with Ben Campbell, who is this year's parade chairman. Good morning, good afternoon.
Thank you. Thanks, John. Glad to be here. Boy, it really shook out nice, didn't it?
It really did. It did. We worked out well, because if you watched the weather forecast a couple days ago, today wasn't looking too great, but right now it's doing well.
Agreed. Yeah.
So, as chairman of this year's parade, let's talk a little bit about the organization in itself. Let's start off maybe with some of your committee members and what the committee does to get us to this point.
It's interesting. The 3 primary honorees are all members of the parade committee. So I feel like they had some big influence on what we're going to put on the street today. And it's exciting to actually see what's going to happen, especially in the honor division.
So let's talk about the Grand Marshal. So we got Ken Egan.
Yep, Ken Egan, longtime parade committee member. He's Mr. Music when it comes to the parade, and he did it again, and we're glad he's here. He wasn't feeling too well in the beginning of the week, but he's standing tall today, and that's hard for Kenny to stand tall.
There you go. And Jim McFadden, also Irishman of the Year.
Jim McFadden, also a parade committee chairman. I was his co-chair when COVID got in the way. With the 2021 parade. We got the 2020 in, but we didn't get the 2021 parade in. So anyway, great guy, great pick for Irishman of the Year. So yeah.
Very good. And then the Irish Woman of the Year. I'm sure
Yeah.
that's your triple crown right there, right? Mary Natale.
Yeah, Mary is just, she joined the club and was parade chair like instantly. So, and she's been nothing but have had, she shaped our parade every year since.
She was a teacher. She has all that experience.
She can't help it.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
used to say teachers are always really good at saying no. Mary doesn't know how to say no.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. Known her a long time. No, she does not. So as the honorees, and then you got committee members, what about the organization? How you put all this together? It's easy for people to stand on the sidelines of the parade and watch how it goes, and they don't probably put a lot of thought into what does it take. You got bands, you got civic groups, you got just people marching, you got car clubs. How do you reach out? How do you get them here? How do you organize it? I know I walk up every year, and the first thing I see is George Aston, year after year after year, and I'm probably talking decades at this point, right? His dad and his mom years ago. But it's a lot of work involved with the committee.
It's funny that you bring up George and Mary Alice and Ken Stiles too. They've had their hand on the parade for more than half of the number of parades that we are currently at. This is 49. So just imagine, it's got to be, like I was talking with Mary Alice about it, I think she said 40 parades that she's had her fingers on. And you're right, because it was her parents, and then they took it over. And I don't know what we would do. There's so much, I wouldn't say it's legacy, but it is. So a lot of times, what your list is overwhelming. It sounds overwhelming, but there's so much muscle in back of making it happen. And then, as you know, the town just gets so fired up about this parade. And it, not just the community, the infrastructure of the town, and they just help us pull it all together and put it on the street. It's amazing. I've been in the parade committee maybe 20 years, a little over 20 years, and just watching how this parade just continuously, year after year, just hits the street. And we do a great job, even when the weather's not so great.
Yeah, and you know what? It's worth saying. So you mentioned about George Aston, his sister Mary Alice, and by the way, Ken, was married to their sister Cindy.
Yeah.
You talk about their involvement, but I think a lot goes back to the legacy of their parents, George and Mary. And back probably in the 80s, I remember going to their house on the morning of the parade, and they hosted breakfast.
Amazing.
It was a big deal.
Amazing.
It was a big deal. So it's nice that they're actually, continuing their family tradition.
Yeah, that's like a cool story, John.
It is.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
That's
we were
really
much
good.
younger back then.
Yeah.
Ben, listen, great job, obviously, putting the parade together. We look forward to
thank you.
seeing you along the line of march.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks, and let's go.
Best wishes. Back
All
to
right.
Dan and Craig.
Following that unit is our youngest Marines, are the North Jersey Young Marines. Will be coming into focus here. We're still getting a look at the rest of the Marine Corps League. All right, here's our Young Marines carrying Old Glory here. The Young Marines are a teen marching unit. They drill out of Colonial High School in the evenings on Wednesdays and on Saturdays during the day. They were most recently selected as the Unit of the Year. They do a series of programs learning about Marine Corps life, including overnights at Camp Evans in Wall Township. They camp out at American Legion Post 80 here in Woodbridge, out in the field there. They've done wreaths across America, Rowway Cemetery. They've camped at Battleship USS New Jersey. We commend the young men and women of the North Jersey Young Marines. Let's have a look. These flags are provided by the American Irish. You'll see the Irish tricolor flag coming up momentarily. And we're getting a salute from the Young Marines. Thank you for your service. They are led by the Venerable John Eberhardt, former Recreation Director. All right, coming into view is the Woodbridge Township Mayor, Town Council. Woodbridge, as you know, unless we have some out-of-towners here, Woodbridge is led by Mayor John McCormick, coming into view right there. Is joined by the Woodbridge Town Council, Woodbridge Board of Education, legislators from the 19th Legislative District. There's Craig Coughlin giving us a wave. Also, Mayor's right-hand person, Chief of Staff Carolyn Ehrlich, I see in the crowd with the Mayor and the rest of the crew. I see Congressman Frank Pallone, joined by former Governor McGreevey in the back there, Council members Brian Small, Corey Spiller, Kyle Anderson, Greg Ficara, also school board members Jonathan Treebwasser, Joseph Velez, and I see Joe Vitale there wearing a sling. I guess he got hurt recently. And there's Jim McGreevy's sister there, Sharon McGreevy, former principal here in School 18 in Woodbridge Township. And lagging behind there, I see everyone's favorite councilwoman from Colonia, Debbie Meehan, throwing out some candy. As someone who's walked parades before, it's quite a feat getting to the end of the parade still with some candy left, so Debbie must have rationed her candy pretty well. Typically, you don't get past Linden Avenue with candy. There's so many kids out there looking for candy. And I'm joined here by Craig Coughlin, my partner. Good to see you, Craig. How was the walk?
It was terrific, Dan. Hi, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and it's good to be with you. The young lady I heard you talking about Debbie Meehan, and that young lady with the blow-up leprechaun suit is her niece.
Oh, okay.
That's why she's lagging behind. I don't think she can't walk quite as fast. Yeah, the walk was good. The crowd is great. And here come the American Irish, led by our Grand Marshal, Ken Egan. Ken was raised in Menlo Park Terrace. He traces his Irish roots back to Nenagh, town in County Tipperary, Ireland, and attended St. Cecilia's and Woodbridge High. 3 kids, Danielle, Patrick, and Melissa. And Melissa passed, sadly, in 2015. 3 grandchildren, Richard, Annabelle, and Giuseppe. Traditional Irish spelling of that, Giuseppe. Great day. I've had the privilege of being the Grand Marshal, and it is a really special day. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely. And
a well-deserving one, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just wanted to finish up on Ken, our Grand Marshal here. Is a proud Navy man. His father was a Navy man. His son was a Navy man. And also very proud for Ken is his service in 1994, as well as again in 2001 at the World Trade Center attacks. He worked for the city of New York, and he responded.
We just saw Assemblywoman Yvonne Lopez, my running mate, terrific running mate. And there we have in front of us now our Irish Man of the Year.
Yeah, yes, we have Jim McFadden, a longtime Colonia resident. He and his wife Kathy have been married for 48 years. They have 3 children, James, Eileen, and Thomas, and 3 grandchildren, Gabby, Allie, and Finn. Jim was a longtime principal in the Carteret Board of Education school system. He still currently coaches these days his grandkids in basketball and gymnastics and track. Jim is also a 55-year member of the Carteret Knights of Columbus. And Jim is very active with the Irish Association. He was past parade chair. He founded the Halfway to St. Patrick's Day event. Really active gentleman along with his wife Kathy. We thank them for their service and congratulate them.
There we see the McFadden family on the back of a little float as they come down Main Street. The crowd is really large, folks. I mean, this is a crowd that is as large as we've seen in quite some time. You can see the people there, 6, 7, 8 deep at the along Main Street here. But even as you come up Linden and then onto 35 St. George, it's just really packed.
It's terrific.
Yes, next up is our Irish Lady of the Year, Marion Natalie. There she is, surrounded by her family. Mary was raised in the Valesburg section of Newark, moved to Woodbridge in 1985. She has 2 daughters, Carrie and Allison, and 2 granddaughters, Sophia and Olivia. She's a 25-year educator right here in Woodbridge. She was a first-grade teacher at Marbury and school number 1, cheerleading coach at JFK High School. She was the Teacher of the Year and the Governor's Award winner. There she is, having a grand old time. Nobody was more excited about this day than Mary. I saw her this morning at the breakfast, and there's some of her clan. As I said, she was the Governor's Teaching Award winner, recognized as the Coach of the Year for competition cheerleading. So she's done a lot of stuff and does a lot of stuff for the club as well, right there?
Absolutely. Yeah, Mary was my co-chair when I was parade chair. She was a terrific partner. And then the year after that, she became the chair of the parade, and she's really enthusiastic. She's an officer in the club these days, and as I had mentioned at the top of the show, an educator. Both daughters are educators, and we have others in the parade here are educators like Jim McFadden, Irish Man of the Year. So we thank them for their service, and it's very much a part of Irish culture, Irish tradition, being involved in public service, whether it's teachers, firefighters, police officers, elected officials.
And there's some of the crowd. Mary wanted us to make sure that she would congratulate her fellow honorees and thank the parade committee for its recognition. Let's see who we have here.
Congratulations,
Little
Mary.
car.
We have an old car here in the parade. This was
Next we have
And we see the
Grand Marshals.
coming in
Chuck
view.
Lewis, some of which are here.
Some
Chuck
of
Lewis,
the old,
Ricky Cipriani, Jim
past
Kennedy,
Grand
Rick
Marshals.
Fitch,
Frank Darcy is there. Sean Keaveney is there. Jim Carroll is there. I think I saw Jack Wall along the line. And there's Jack.
2004, Jim
Terrific group of
2005, Mayor Mack, 2006,
Men who have had the privilege of
Jim
serving
Burke,
as the Grand
2007,
Marshals
Bill
and their
Donovan, 2008,
grandkids.
Lincoln, 2009,
There's some of the others.
John Gibbon, 2011,
There's-
off to John at Woodbridge High School.
Okay, I'm here right now with Mary Natale, who is this year's Irish Lady of the Year. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, John. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
It certainly is, especially being named by the American Irish Association, because we know it's one of the most largest organizations here in Woodbridge Township, and of course one of the biggest parades in the state of New Jersey. So it is an honor. So, Mayor, we go back a long time.
We sure do, John.
I wanna
Lots of
talk- yeah,
memories.
lots of memories. I want to talk about what you've done since you've really retired, because you've done so much. You worked in the Woodbridge School District. You retired from Mauby Street School as an elementary school teacher.
Yes.
25 years teaching?
Yes.
Right? And after that, you got a new life after retirement, and I understand you jumped into the American Irish Association. You got so involved. I've heard you've been on almost every possible committee. You chair the scholarship committee. You jumped on the halfway to St. Patrick's Day committee, and I'm sure there's much, much more than that. You have two daughters. I know that they're very proud of you today, Kerry and Allison.
Yes.
Okay. I understand they surprised you a couple of years ago with a great birthday gift. We're not going to talk about what birthday it was, but a great birthday gift. Let's talk about that.
Okay, about 5 years ago, after the parade, we were at the post-parade party, and my daughters pulled me to the side and said, "Mom, we just want to let you know that you are going someplace special for your birthday this year," which was in June. And I said, "Oh, okay, where are we going?" "We are going to Ireland." So my two daughters planned this trip to Ireland to celebrate my birthday, and we spent a week in Ireland. I was actually in Ireland on my birthday.
That is
It was
great.
awesome, and what an experience and memories. And again, it ties into the parade.
It certainly does, and it ties into your heritage.
Absolutely. I'm very fortunate. My mom was 100% Irish. My father was 100% Italian. I'm 50%, and I'm very fortunate that I have those two great backgrounds.
That is great, because it's always interesting when you have a parade of celebrating the culture, the heritage, and you come up with an Italian.
Yes.
So I'm glad you explained that. So let's go back real quick again too, because I know I'd come to learn, because I'm going to share my jacket for a moment from the Firehouse Pub. So because you're a frequent flyer there in a good way, you have a daughter who's on staff there. What did the Firehouse Pub do for you for this honor?
Well, they are a big part of this celebration also. They are so excited that I have been nominated and to be the Irish woman. So they are honoring me. I don't know full details, but there's been over 73 T-shirts made, and the staff at the pub is going to be wearing my shirt.
Well, we're
today.
going to have to go check that out.
We have to check that out. And I'm going back there on the 17th. So I'm sure we're going to be some more celebrating on the 17th.
Right. I promise I will see you there on the 17th, which is next Friday.
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations again on the honor. Well deserved.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you along the parade line.
Thank you so much, everybody. And I hope you're out there watching us go by. This parade is going to be awesome.
Great, Mary. Thank you. Let's go back to Dan and Craig inside.
Ed Mullen,
Some of the memories.
2013, Frank
Pat,
Darcy,
Joan,
Bob Patton, Jack Wall, Craig Cochran, Joe Dias, Ray
former
Jacko,
Grand Marshals riding in that little bus.
and myself.
Sure.
All past Grand Marshals.
No.
For Irish Ladies of the Year.
Now we have our first pipe band, the Middlesex County Police and Fire Pipes and
Middlesex
Drums.
County Police and Fire Pipe Band now in view.
Fallen law enforcement officers and firefighters who have made the ultimate sacrifice. They strive to strengthen the relations between
Our first pipe band of the group.
Yeah.
the public.
And following them will be the American Irish Association and their executive board members and directors. Once again, the American Irish Association goes back to the 1960s, founded here by looking through the phone book and looking for Irish surnames. Organization is hosted over at the Acacia Teen Center with its new clubhouse.
You don't remember when you used to get a phone book, do you, Dan? You drop it in the mailbox. And we're now joined by our mayor, another former Grand Marshal,
How are you guys?
longtime member of the American Irish, John McCormick.
Great day, unbelievable.
Terrific crowd, right?
Oh, my
We haven't
goodness.
seen a crowd like this in a while.
I'm telling you, yesterday was
Long
a pretty raw day in town. Tomorrow's supposed to be a very bad day weather-wise, but today, mid to high 40s, no wet, no snow, no nothing.
Yeah, it felt like a spring day, didn't it?
Yeah, and the American Irish, you mentioned them, they got the key to Woodbridge Township not long ago. They do a terrific job. Eddie McSherry's the best president in the world. So let's give them a great big round of applause for the job they've done running this parade.
There we go.
Everybody
Way to
thinks
go.
we do it. We don't. We just help them out.
Well, we made sure we mentioned that at the top of the show because you always make sure that gets noted, that it's the club who does the parade.
Exactly.
There
And
we
you know what,
go.
today's parade, there's so many kids. I don't know why. It's a very crowded parade, but it seems like there's way more kids than I remember. And Carol had a suggestion. Maybe a bunch of parades that got canceled yesterday or postponed yesterday. Maybe if you told your kids, hey, we're going to the parade,
Yeah.
you found the nearest one and they all came to Woodbridge. Who knows? Who knows?
Let's mention the American Irish officers and directors. The president is Ed McSherry, the vice president Sean O'Neill, the recording secretary is Dolores Boyd, corresponding secretary is Jane Boble, financial secretary Karen Devlin, treasurer is Cindy Jacobin, sergeant at arms is Pat Cahill.
Yes. Speaker and the directors are Joan Dias, Ken Egan, Nancy Egan, Deborah Hutchinson, and Sean Keaveney. The American Irish Association meet monthly, September through June, on the second Friday, once again at the Acacia Teen Center. You can learn more about the Irish by visiting their Facebook page at American Irish Association of Woodbridge or visiting their website at ameriirish.com.
I'm going to turn this over to our great state senator, Joe Vitale, now, who's joined us. Joe, here you go.
Okay, thank you, John. Welcome, Joseph.
Hi, Franny.
As soon as he gets in there, let's see, the more American Irish members, a little green beetle, and coming into view now to JFK Marching Mustangs from JFK High School.
Yes, I think Joe knows a little something about JFK High School.
Your alma
What do you say,
mater,
Joe?
Joe.
My
Welcome.
alma mater. Yeah, I graduated with a class of 73.
There you go.
Yeah, a long time ago, but a great school, and they made so many changes over the years in terms of the infrastructure. The town's been generous with the tennis courts and the fields. And, it's great to have 3 high schools in town, and of course a big city and a big town rather, and let's really enjoy it. Today's amazing.
The director is Josh Cabrera. The guard instructor is Amanda Hugelmeyer. The percussion visual instructor is Brandon Eberhardt. The front ensemble instructor is Emma Patrimonio. Drum major, Tariq Ali. Field major is Arisha Colvin. The guard captain is J.E. Patel. Guard co-captain is Julianne Cruz. The drum captain is Arthur O'Connor. And it's in quotes, so maybe I guess it is. Pit captain is Arushi Gakwad. The section leaders is Marcy Jacob, Mark Henry, and Koshish Patel.
They sound and look terrific in their 58th season here. And next month they'll be heading off to Boston to perform at Quincy Market.
That's pretty cool.
Quincy Market's a great place. Craig, you were a former Grand Marshal.
I am. Had the great privilege of being a Grand Marshal a few years ago.
The mayor as
Parade's
well.
really well attended. Yeah, Mayor's been.
Today's amazing. We started out in high school and along the route, on even on the side streets down 35 and down Main, it's just packed with families and kids. It's really sweet. The weather's great. It's perfect for this.
Here we see the JFK Memorial High School competition cheerleaders, I would guess.
That's right, Speaker. Yeah, and I wanted to note and give them a congratulations. The competition team just recently won the Co-Ed Game Day State Championship just last weekend. So congratulations to those girls for having a great season this year.
So Joe, it's been a good day for the Irish today, right? You were there for the flag raising this morning. Nice little breakfast that followed.
That was terrific. Yeah, Woodbridge Brewery hosted the breakfast, here and that crew, and then it's a good job. It's a tradition, right? We do the flag raising, have the program before that, and then do the breakfast after. Then a couple minutes in between, and then the parade.
Yeah, there we go. So.
Well, thank you for having me. It's happy St. Patrick's Day.
And good to see you as always.
You, my friend. Be well. I want to turn this over to Congressman Frank Pallone.
Okay.
Congressman, why don't you step in?
First, let's talk about Victoria Gomez, who you see in view right now. Her grandparents are Woodbridge American Irish members, Connie from County Donegal and Fran O'Donnell. She graduated from Colonia High, now goes to Kane University, studying communications with her future career in broadcast journalism. So get ready to see her on TV again in the future. She's inducted into the Hall of Hall of Fame High School Honor Society, the National Quill and Scroll and Spanish. So she's a busy young lady. Sang in the high school and along with her time at St. John Vianney in their church choir. She was in the Colonial Marching Patriots Color Guard, on the Student Council, and in the Interact Club. Her proudest achievement was in high school being awarded the top honors for having nearly 500 hours in community service, and we talk about that. Her lady in waiting was Brittany Bader.
Brittany comes from a proud tradition of public school educators, mother, father, number of aunts and cousins. She's studying to become an elementary education teacher at TCNJ down there in Ewing, New Jersey. She's been in a number of honor societies, national Spanish, math, science, social studies, and very involved in her high school days. Here, take another look at Brittany.
There she is, a smile on her face. And now we're joined by Congressman Frank Pallone of the 7th Congressional District here in New Jersey. Congressman, welcome aboard.
Well, thank you, Speaker Coughlin. I'm always pleased to be at the parade. It's one of the biggest. You know, I have 9 St. Patrick's Day parades in my district, spread out over the whole month of March. But this is definitely one of the biggest and one of the one that's the most fun. And I know the American Irish Association of Woodbridge is really, they put on a great show. And I don't know, it seems to me there's more people than ever this year, more floats, more antique cars, more everything.
I think we've all noted that. There's been a great turnout for the parade. And I think that was that, don't mean to interrupt, we'll get back. Was that the Pace Parents Organization?
That was, yes.
We saw before it went by? I want to thank their special needs kids who use the trackless train. Thank you for them. Thank you for the work that they do for that. So, now, are you Irish at all?
I am not, although I have to say that, my mother was adopted, so we don't really know. So when people say, are you Irish, I say, well, maybe. But as far as I know, no.
I'll just go for yes.
Go for yes.
Yeah, I think I got some.
People think that Pallone is Irish because Malone is an Irish name. Right. So, like you said, you go along with it. But
certainly,
this is really great today.
This month you're Irish, right?
This month,
everybody's Irish in
definitely
March.
Irish today.
It's actually a season. We all know that, ladies and gentlemen. It's a season. Went to the first Irish event in mid-January.
I know, it's just amazing.
First fundraiser.
We had some nice weather too, which is really great. Yeah. It's really important. So, I saw that big Irish flag.
That was
early.
pretty impressive.
That was great.
Huh?
I'm always impressed by that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah, Congressman, I've had to carry that in Seaside Heights on a windy day for a parade, and I swear I was going to be lifted off the ground.
Well, you need a lot of people to make sure it doesn't fall,
That's
right?
absolutely
or blow
right.
away.
Exactly. I think while we were talking, we saw the Legionnaires marching band go by, Dan.
Yes, they're right. They're at a Carteret. They're in this parade annually. They're most people's favorite non-bagpipe band. They're really terrific.
Yeah,
they do
been
a great
around
job.
since 1961. They're state champions for numerous years. They won a bunch of trophies and awards over the past, and they were joined, of course, by the American Legion Woodbridge Post 87.
John Witch, who do you have for us there?
Okay, I'm here now with Victoria Gomez from Colonia, Miss American Irish in this year's parade. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to see you again. I know last year I was here interviewing you as Lady in Waiting.
Yes.
So we've waited a year. Okay, we've waited a year. So last time we talked about, your involvement in the community. Colonia High School at the time, you were going to Kane, talking about St. John Vianney. So let's talk about some of your community service and what got you here to being named this year.
So currently, I'm in a sorority, Delta Phi Epsilon, and we're constantly raising money and doing charity work for causes in our community. And throughout high school, I was involved in hand-in-hand dances where I would hang out with special needs adults throughout our community.
Okay, and now you're studying communications at Kane.
Yes.
How's that doing? Everything's doing well?
It's going great. I'm hoping to be a broadcast journalist.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm sure you're going to
Yes.
do very, very
Thank
well.
you.
We need to give some shout outs. We got to give shout outs because I remember also talking to you last year. This has all been about family for you since you've been
Definitely.
smaller. So you'd show up with a big group of family, including obviously your grandparents. You want
Yes.
to give a shout out to
My
them as
mom
well?
and pop-up, Fran and Connie O'Donnell. They are both from County Donegal, and they're so proud of their Irish heritage, and they just passed that straight back down to me.
That's great. And you enjoy year after year of coming to the
Yes.
parade as well and now participating in the parade.
Yes.
Hopefully we got you a little bit better weather this year than last year. Last year I think we were a little
was
cold.
very cold
It was
last
very,
year.
very cold. I felt so bad for you. So what does this mean to you to be named again this another year in a row?
I'm just so proud that I get to be this for my family. You know, I've looked up to the Miss American Irish every year, and having this opportunity is just so special.
Well, that's great, and probably the largest well-run organization here in Woodbridge Township. It's an
Definitely.
honor to be named.
Yes.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank
We'll look
you.
forward to seeing you on the parade route. Let's go back to Dan and Craig.
So we
Mike
start.
Jernatowski is the commander, Joe Russo, the son of the Legion commander, and Anastasia Goldberg is the ladies auxiliary president there. Thank you for your work.
Yeah, coming into focus here, we have Bill Almacy with his 1929 Ford. Really awesome car. You know, Bill loves participating in this. Bill comes from the large Almacy family in the construction and excavation business located right here on Main Street. Bill, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your sponsorship.
Sorry, Congressman, you were starting to say when we...
Well, is that one of the green cars? I know a lot of the cars are painted green. Not that one though, maybe.
Oh.
I saw a green Volkswagen and a green, looked like a green Model T also.
It's pretty neat. I think this is the C. Warren Free Public Library, right, Dan?
That's right. Yeah, located there at 546 West Avenue in C. Warren. It's a private library, but it very much operates like a public library, open to anybody. They do different book signings and readings, and really engaged, and give them a big hand for what they mean for the township community.
Belinda Kirchner is their president of the board. And they'll be holding, just in case anyone's interested, they'll be handing out library information and leprechaun lollipops. It's free to children, and they have adult programs, as you talked about, so it's a great place if you want to go down, spend some time.
All right, that's right. Yeah. Beautiful, quaint little building. I don't know if you've ever been in there, Congressman. Or
I
Craig.
have been.
Really nice little library.
I love it. It's really a great place. I have been in it a few times.
There's a Miata Club. I guess it's growing because we have two of them.
And Craig, you could join next
I
year.
have,
You've got, that's your favorite car.
Little Miata. All right. Congressman, thank you for joining us. Have a great day. On to 7 more parades today, right? I'll talk to you. Thank you. There we see a very successful Woodbridge Township hockey team, Dan.
Yes.
What a year they have had.
They sure did. Undefeated regular season, consecutive county champions, and lost in the longest ever hockey state championship game in state history in 4 overtimes. I didn't make the game, but from what I heard, the boys were gassed by the end of the game. It's very difficult playing effectively 2 hockey games in a row.
I forget, who did they lose to? Was it Nutley?
Governor Livingston.
Oh, Governor Livingston, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they are a terrific team. As some of you know, we used to have 3 hockey teams, one for each of the high schools, and now it's a consolidated hockey team among all 3 of those schools. Right. I guess players that dwindled at each school. You need a sizable roster. You need a real roster. You can't just have 10 guys on the team.
Yeah. Yeah, hockey players typically only play about a third of a game. It creates that cardiac arrest while trying to skate on that ice at that speed,
Yep. So, Coach Joe Rotel has done just a terrific job with them.
That's right.
John, take it away.
Okay, I'm joined now this afternoon in front of Woodbridge High School with Brittany Bader, who is this year's Lady in Waiting. Congratulations, Brittany.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Congratulations on the honor.
Thank you.
What's really cool, I think, about your interview right here is, and we'll get to the fact that you're in college, but you graduated from Woodbridge High School, so it's nice to be out here in front of, your alma mater for high school. Because when you were here in the high school, I know you were very involved. You were involved in so many of the National Honor Societies. You're involved in Heroes and Cool Kids. You did so much here, and you were a standout, at least from my perspective here at Woodbridge High. So congratulations for that. Your community service, your community involvement, speaks volumes of you. And then you graduated, and then you went over to TCNJ, which is a great school. I congratulate you on that. And you got involved again. You got involved in the sorority down at the school. You got involved in other community activities down there. You've done food drives back here, and then you joined what's called Arm in Arm Foundation, which I'm unfamiliar with. So let's talk about that. What are you doing with that?
Well, with Arm in Arm, we went to Trenton and we served as a food pantry. So we organized bags of food, and then people lined up and we distributed it out to the community.
So here you are again, continuing what you've done here back at home. Your family's had a long time involvement in our community. They're not afraid to step up and to join in. So I commend you on that. I think that's wonderful. And you're also studying elementary education and art.
Yes.
Right? How are we doing with the studies? Doing good?
Good.
First year?
I just got accepted into the art program last week.
Wonderful.
So I was undecided before that, but now I'm elementary in art.
Well, congratulations. Listen, you're again continuing the great name of Bader family here in Woodbridge. From your grandfather Tom, your dad John, very involved in the school. Your mom it still teaches in the school. I saw before walking by your cousin Rebecca, who's a teacher as well. Related to the Gardners. Always very involved. So I wish you well, and I know your parents are very proud, as is your two brothers too, as well. Okay, so congratulations on the honor. Anything you want to say before we go back to the parade?
No, I'm just glad to have this opportunity, and I'm happy for everyone who's also being an honoree.
Okay, great. And we'll see you next year again, right?
Yeah, yes.
Enjoy the parade. We're going to go back to
much.
Dan and Craig.
Yeah. Our second pipe band coming into focus here. Want to tell us about it, Craig?
As soon as I find them on my list, Dan, I will. Where are they? There we go. The Commodore John Berry Division Number 3 of the Ancient Order of Hibernians, celebrating their 75th year in Perth Amboy. That's not the band, though. Sorry, folks.
Perth Amboy AOH must have sponsored, say, Brandon's Pipes and Drums. I believe they're out of down in there in Ocean County there. They didn't make the book here.
Maybe next year. Keep up the good work. We'll get you in there next year. There they are.
They are followed by the Ancient Order of Hibernians.
And they were followed by the Commodore John Berry Ancient Order of Hibernians.
1927. Perth Amboy was formed in 1948.
Perth Amboy. Also down just below the river there, Craig, is the South Amboy AOH and South River AOH. And we've got an exciting weekend next weekend ahead of us, right?
South Amboy has its parade. I'm a member of South Amboy AOH. My ancestral home.
For everyone listening and wants to take in another parade this season, next Sunday at 2 p.m., that's Sunday the 19th, we have the South Amboy St. Patrick's Day Parade. South Amboy AOH, the parade committee down there, they're very active with the Woodbridge Irish, and we like to reciprocate.
You see some restored classic historical cars. Not a car guy, Dan, so I don't know what kind of car that is.
That's a turquoise car right there.
Yes, there we go. Thank you. A man with an uncanny grasp for the obvious. This kid's going places, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, the Colonia Fire Department.
100% volunteer department.
Including their chief and assistant chief.
Not long ago, they celebrated their 75th anniversary. They're in their 80th year this year. All-volunteer fire department located there at 250 Inman Avenue. As I say every year, the volunteer fire departments are great service here to Woodbridge Township taxpayers, free of charge, effectively. But they are always in need of volunteers. So if you are able-bodied and interested, please visit your local fire department and become a volunteer today.
Their chief is Michael Pirazzoli. They've been around since 1943.
All your jewelry needs.
All right, we're starting a new division here.
It's the Forge Jewelers Division. For those of you who are not paying attention, Forge Jewelers supporting the St. Patrick's Parade for now 49 years. Thank you to Barry Berman and his commitment to the community. Great selections for your gift buying needs. Stop in and see. They're right on Ford Avenue in the heart of the Ford's business section there.
Right, real staple down there.
They'll make you feel welcome. Here's a man who has no friends but likes to play music.
Yes. Perhaps my second favorite violinist here today.
That's it.
Who's the first? Right here with us here in Woodbridge.
My co-host sitting next to me.
Friend Taylor is with you. Thank you, Taylor. She's really good. She's a star, man. She can play the violin and the fiddle. I know it's the same instrument, but it's a different way of doing them, right?
Right.
She's smiling at me. Tell me.
Yes.
There's the Billiards Club. A really very popular organization, the Senior Billiards Club right here in Woodbridge. About 30 members, I guess, will be marching. I think they have more than that to take part in the club.
Absolutely.
They have a float. They'll have marchers. They'll have 2 cars, a couple of motorcycles, and the float will carry 15 to 20 people. Yeah. Steve Sharkey is the president. Joe Kelber is the vice president. Pat Trombetta is the vice president. It was Pat who was one of the original founders of the parade, right? Joe Cafaro is the treasurer. Joe Onasuka is the secretary. The parade organizer is Harry Witt.
Yeah, a great organization. We've mostly seen men just march by, but they do have plenty of women in their organization. My experience, they have at least 100, and they've effectively outgrown the billiards room upstairs at the community center. But I think they're always taking members, and you first have to be an outsider, playing on the pool tables outside the room, and then eventually you get you work your way into the room. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I want to give them a shout out. Annually, they work with Councilwoman Debbie Meehan, the Woodbridge Police Department, on an annual toy drive. Really great program. And, Craig, you and I have participated in their annual billiards versus cops, fire, and elected officials. And how do we typically fare in that billiards tournament?
Oh, we play fair. We do really well, and then they break the balls open, and it's all downhill from there. They also, though, participate in food banks, holiday toy drives, as you had mentioned, Relay for Life, Senior Olympics, cornhole competitions in their billiard room. So they do a lot of fun things. And, Pat Trombetta is as central to the Woodbridge hosting the Senior Olympics every year as anybody. It was he and Frank, right, who came to Mayor McCormick and said, "Hey, we should do this." And the Senior Olympics has now been held here in Woodbridge for well over a decade.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. And billiards is one of the most popular events. That billiards room is gorgeous. They really do a great job running that organization. And as they noted with the hard copy of the Key to the City, Mayor McCormick for the Sesquicentennial honored about half a dozen community organizations in Woodbridge Township, and they were one of the limited recipients for all the great things that, Craig, you just rattled off about them.
Right. Now, I enter a play pool every year. I've never gotten less than a bronze medal when there were 3 people in the draw. So. I want to thank our friends here at El Ranchito, who host us every year. We're sitting in their window. The Mexican restaurant right on the corner of Main and Fulton Street. Terrifically nice people, great food, so drop by if you're in the neighborhood.
Yeah,
and speaking of dropping by.
Yeah, speaking of the Hope Lawn Fire Department, Craig, you and I talk about this every once in a while. We're more than happy to pay our taxes for fire service, but we hope to never see them come to our house. For those in Hope Lawn, right there on Loretta Street is the terrific Hope Lawn Fire and Rescue Squad, led by their chief, Tyrone Finholt. Thank you, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, for your service.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right. Yep. They're the one place where you don't mind paying your taxes to get no services because you want them to, nothing to go wrong, right? They specialize in firefighter rescue for all the fire departments in Woodbridge Township, along with Perth Amboy, South Amboy, Sayreville, and Carteret. In other words, every town in my district. Here's the Fords Falcon Travel baseball team, formerly the FCBBL, which I was the proud president of. Oh, God.
That's right.
A long time ago.
That's what happens when you have 3 boys, right?
Yeah, exactly right. My youngest boy is 27, so he started when he was 7, so 20-odd years ago. Multiple championships, and they would love to match that this year as we get ready for baseball season. Baseball's in the air.
That's right. Wrapping up spring training shortly, and we get some baseball. Very excited about that.
Mike Stanakovitz is the president. The 8 under Ford Falcon Championships had a summer championship season last summer. The 9 and under were Labor Day champions. The 11 under were summer season champions, and their league's been servicing the community for over 70 years.
One of the premier pipe bands, Richmond County Pipes and Drums from Staten Island.
Kicking off this next division here is led by the Richmond County Pipes and Drums of Staten Island. This pipe band is sponsored every year, not by the American Irish Association, but by the Woodbridge Fire Department. It's always terrific to have this edition. Let's have a look.
Let's take a listen.
Love the red. They always look so sharp, that group.
Yeah, and there they are. Chief Michael Hapstack, along with his crew, serving the residents of Woodbridge proper and Seawarren since 1897, Dan. 1897, 125th anniversary of service. That'll be a picnic at Alvin Williams Park on May 6th. So stop by, have a burger and a hot dog, and say thanks.
Yeah, say thanks to both the paid professional union firefighters as well as the volunteer firefighters. It's a hybrid fire department here in Woodbridge.
See some of their equipment.
Yeah.
They take great pride in maintaining the equipment. They really do. Firefighters do.
They do. Yeah. You want that fire truck to start when they have the call, right?
Yeah. Exactly right. That's not the time to find out you got a problem. Now, I don't think I've seen this vehicle before. Tactical support.
Tactical support.
Radio station. Magic 98.3. They also have 14.
Zipping on by the screen here is the Beasley Media Group, Magic 98.3, and Fox Sports Radio News.
There we go. That's the old WCTC, this Fox Sports Radio News.
That's right. That's right. They have some good music. You know, I listen to them pretty much.
There they are. Magic 98.3. Here comes Cub Scout Pack 95, I think. Yep, Fords. One my kids went to back when they were Cub Scout age.
That's right.
53, Pack 26, and Pack 53. I think it's 52, isn't it?
I think it's 53.
No, 53.
Yeah. My experience being involved here in town, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, they're all really terrific. The kids are eager, the parents are great. They participate in a lot of community service.
It's a very active pack. George Gundry is the club master. Jay Patel's the assistant. A lot of good people. My old friend Jim Leonardo and his wife Robin Hill have been involved in the Cub Scouts since, my son Craig is 33, since he was a kid, since he was starting at 6 or 7, so almost 3 decades ago. They were formed back in 1952. They participate in lots of service projects, collecting food and clothes, singing carols to seniors at Christmas time. Let's take a listen to our Fred the Hottie and the Ragtimers.
The sidewalks of New York are filled with morning.
Beat there. They must stay warm there, being basically on top of each other there. There are only 3 of them this year. I thought I remember a 4th in the past.
And that's when they used to be the 2x4s. They didn't say why they changed their name.
Patriotic look going on there.
There's 4 people.
Is there a 4th there? Yeah. Oh, there he is. Tucked back there. Oh, he's doing the singing.
That's Fred.
Oh, that's Fred. Thank you for joining us, Fred. My time as parade chair, we always get good compliments on that group.
Yeah, they're always fun. Walter Pearson is their coordinator. Thank you. This is the 30th annual for the oh, I'm sorry, there's a different group coming up here. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right, there we are, though. This is the DVR team, the Woodbridge Domestic Violence Response Team. Walter Pearson is their coordinator. This is their 30th year of providing support to victims and survivors of domestic violence alongside the Woodbridge Police Department. And they supply the advocacy for the victims by providing access to resources. Dan.
Right.
They do great work.
Yeah, they really do. They do fundraising throughout the year to support their efforts. I know they have about 30 coordinators, and they get, I think it was about 40 hours of training, just to become someone who's available 24/7.
Coming into view now, the Middlesex County Democratic Organization. They're joined by County Commissioner Director Ron Rios. Sorry, Ron. We see him waving in the background there. Some of the other members of the organization. They are headed by a former Woodbridge resident, Kevin McCabe.
Yeah, so Kevin earlier with his wife and kids across the street joining us. Back to John on the street.
Okay, I'm here right now with Ken Gardner, who is this year's sponsor chairman for the American Irish Parade. I want to bring Ken in and actually, if you can, introduce your group. But let's first talk about the sponsorships and the banners and how much work is involved and how important and how vital it is to raise the money to put this parade together here in Woodbridge.
Great. Thank you so much, John. We really appreciate you doing this for us. And we raise the money for the parade with our local businesses. We have sponsors for the parade, we have banners for the parade, and we also have our ad book. It's great that you have your Firehouse Pub shirt on tonight, a great local bar. We've got so many local bars. Two of our silver sponsors have floats and music in the parade today. We've got Big Shots, who usually has a DJ or a band, and then we have Moby Dick's, two of our silver sponsors for a long time. The banners that we have in the parade today are Forge Jewelers. They have been with us since the start of our banners and started the parade 49 years ago, or more than 49 years ago, but 49 parades ago, or 48 years parades ago, I guess I should say. We also have the Lightbridge Academy, which has daycare centers in Woodbridge and Island. We have Modera, which is the apartments directly across the street from Town Hall, and we have the Learning Experience, which is another daycare center. So they all contribute. But Firehouse Pub, San Remo's Pizza, El Costello on Main Street, the Main Tavern, the Woodbridge Brewing Company, Haley's Harp and Pub, and so many other businesses. We ask you to please support our Main Street businesses and businesses around town that they help put the parade on the street and raise the money. So our chairman, Ben Campbell, and our co-chairman, Sean Daly, and our president, Ed McSherry, can get out and spend all that money on the great parade. But today we really want to thank this is a mouthful, so I got to get it right, Hackensack Meridian JFK University Medical Center, and their manager of their EMS services, Ed Borowski, who, Ed, we were talking before, John, you know him through being in Avenel Fire and the Woodbridge Fire. Ed, we went through Caseby Fire a long time ago. We were talking about, he's been in Avenel, Colonia with Perth Amboy, and now he runs JFK. So JFK for 10 years has been our platinum sponsor, contributing more than anybody else to the parade. And Ed, we want to present this to you. And thanking all of your leadership. It was not for you guys, we wouldn't be able to put the parade on the street. So thank you so much.
That's great. Congratulations, Ed. Any words, Ed?
It's just a great honor to be here and be able to support a community function like this. JFK University Medical Center is a staple to the community in providing service, and we look forward to continuing to support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again for that sponsorship. And Ken, just real quick to wrap it up, though, again, the funds from the sponsors are vital to putting together this great parade. Somebody wants to become a new sponsor, how do they do that? Who do they reach out to?
Right, so if you go to our website, which starts, our club is American Irish Association, so our website is beginning of American and end with Irish, so it's AMERIRISH.com, or on Facebook, we are the American Irish Association of Woodbridge. If you go there, there's email addresses, phone numbers, leave us a message. The parade is run by all volunteers. Our association runs the parade, and we fund the parade as well. So if it wasn't for all the businesses, the parade wouldn't get on the street. So thanks, and please, if you see a sign in a window that somebody supported the parade, please eat there, buy your clothes there, and keep supporting the parade so we can come back next year.
Okay, thanks, Ken. Again, thanks to Hackensack Meridian and all the other sponsors. Let's go back now to Dan and Craig.
Being here.
Here we see the truck highlighting some of the Democratic candidates.
That's right. Yeah. Coming into view here is the Woodbridge Golden Saints, combination of the Woodbridge Saints and the St. Cecilia's Golden Knights. They're now one organized football and cheer program, led by Ryan Hines, who's the president. They're based out of there in Port Reading, the Port Reading field, back off of Port Reading Avenue. They were 2022 National League champions, 2019 American League champions, 2018 Jersey Valley champions, and 2017 third place Garden State Games. Congratulations to them.
Congratulations. Last year they were National League champions. That's terrific.
Yeah. They, in my experience with the football leagues, they have they start football as young as 5 all the way up to 8th grade, where the boys and girls go off to play high school football or cheer. They are up on the float here, being dragged by this large tractor trailer here.
Yeah, they got a nice flatbed.
Yeah, looks like they're having a good time. Well-run organization. I'm biased here. I was a Colonia Patriot. I had my battles with both the Golden Knights and the Woodbridge Saints.
How about the Bearcats of Forge?
Yeah, they beat up on us too. So.
Yeah.
There's the cheerleaders there having a good time.
There we go.
Craig, I'll tell you, 2 of the 3 township high school cheer teams both won state championships last week. So whatever we're doing down at the youth level cheering, they're doing a great job because they keep pumping out state champions.
They're sending up terrific cheerleaders.
Yeah.
We see in front of us the Island Fire Department, District number 11. Located on North Avenue. Brian Malahitro, Malahitro is the chief.
That's right. They're recognizable by their very recognizable white fire trucks. The only white fire trucks we have in here in town. Craig, you and I were talking about this earlier. There's 9 fire districts in Woodbridge Township. They're the only ones who go with the white. They're located that northern part of Island and Colonia there. That's their turf. It was once covered by that fire department there. Often came out to the neighborhood block parties.
When you grow up?
Yep. That's right.
And of course was raised in Colonia. Still lives in Colonia. Right?
Yeah, that's right. Now I'm in the Avenel Fire District.
Oh, okay. One of these days we're going to get you, a guy who's lived his whole life in Colonia, in the Colonia Fire District. Hope spring was eternal, Dan.
Yes. That's right.
These are our friends from Big Shots Restaurant, right on Route 1 and 9. Well, actually, they're on Route 1, right?
Yep. They're on Route 1 at 780 US 1, northbound side. They're one of our silver sponsors. I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. We'll be covering them a little later on. Silver sponsor. And I wanted to recognize them for not only supporting this year's parade, but also supporting other philanthropic events throughout the township.
Their managers are Brian Stanley and Brian Boxley. Thank you for participating. There's a 1982 DeLorean. Back to the future, Dan. Gary Mazie is the original owner and driver of that.
Always a cool car. A lot of people get excited when they see those babies.
Yeah.
Followed by this dark green, befitting green, 1974 Ford Maverick. I don't think that was in production long. Don't hear about too many Ford Mavericks these days.
No.
It's driven by Pete Crosta of Nutley, New Jersey.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the parade.
Welcome to Woodbridge, Pete.
Best town around. All right, we're seeing some officers from the Avenel Fire Department, my fire district, as we had just mentioned there, located at 343 Avenel Street in Avenel. They are also a hybrid paid and volunteer fire department.
Chief is Brian Howard, and the president is Chris Nerota. Sorry.
Yeah, Chris is a good
There's
guy.
Chris, yeah.
This fire department. Craig, I don't know if you remember when they had their 100th anniversary. We did the parade. Remember,
Right.
we walked from the fire station to Merrill Park, and it was in June, and it was right when the cicadas
Yes, I do
were
remember
out,
that.
and we're walking down the parade, all of us, not just you and I, and the cicadas are flying across the
All
street.
over
They're
the
flying
place.
into our hair. It was gross.
Yeah, it was really it was no fun. But a great party and a great event.
Right, and a great
once
fire.
we got there.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a large turf here at this Avenel Fire Department. They cover, like I said earlier, parts of Colonia and, of course, the very sizable Avenel. So we thank the men and women of the Avenel Fire Department for their service. And like always, if you're looking to volunteer,
sign up.
Yeah, sign on up.
You'll get to make a difference in your community and meet some terrific people.
Right. Craig, you were a volunteer fireman for
I
a
was,
short time,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, for a while when I was in high school. When I was 18, I was a volunteer fireman, and through college I was a volunteer fireman. And then when I got off to law school, I was keeping somebody else from getting a job. Not a job, I wasn't paid, but it was a volunteer in South Amboy, all volunteer.
Right.
But I was keeping somebody from being a regular. And back then they had regulars and buffaloes,
Oh,
they
okay.
called them. People who were working their way up to become regular members, and so on I went, and I wasn't around.
Yeah, there's only so many seats on the fire truck, right?
Yeah, and only so many roster spots back in the day.
Right.
I think we struggle now for volunteers, of course. So anybody who wants to who has the opportunity to volunteer. We see Senator Vitale and the aforementioned Kevin McCabe, chairman of Woodbridge. Of the Middlesex County Democratic Organization.
Like to consider this guy right here the bravest man at the parade
Yeah.
here. I don't know about you, I wouldn't last about 10 feet on that thing.
Yeah, I'm going to go with it. But he's having fun.
Yeah, right. Kids always like those kinds of things. And Elmo, and I know we have Mickey and Minnie will be coming up here in the parade. That the kids love all the different characters that are dressed up. Oh, here we go.
The Colonel D.B. Kelly Pipe and Drums from South Amboy. This is the South Amboy Parade Committee seat coming up. D.B. Kelly Pipe and Drums is associated with the the Ancient Order of Hibernians, the AOH of South Amboy. Mickey Gross is the chairman, Councilman Mickey Gross, the chairman of the parade committee.
Yeah, they do a great parade. Craig, you and I have been to it numerous.
yeah.
You've been to it probably your whole life. Similar to here in Woodbridge, where it's lined the entire length of the
town,
parade, concluding there on Broadway in South Amboy. They do a great parade. As I mentioned earlier, it's next Sunday, March the 19th, beginning at 2 p.m. It begins on Bordentown Avenue, goes down to Stevens, I believe, to Main Street, to Broadway.
It snakes through the entire town. It really does.
Yeah, really great parade, and I'm sure we'll see the D.B. Kelly Pipes and Drums based out of there in South Amboy.
Oh, yeah.
And the Colonel D.B. Kelly Pipes and Drums are named after the famous State Police Superintendent, Colonel D.B. Kelly, right?
Right, there they are in the direction of George Fuller. He's the big guy in the front with the shillelagh up in the air.
Yes. Yeah, one of my favorite parts of
Or
today.
the walking stick. It's a walking stick.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Hey, Craig, one of my favorite parts of the day is going back to the American Irish Association's post-parade party when they bring in all the bagpipers into the hall, and it just gives you chills. It's really phenomenal.
Raising the roof.
Yes, absolutely. All right, here's the South Amboy AOH coming into view. Their spirited group.
They are.
Do a great job with that parade annually. He's a couple years younger than the Woodbridge Parade, but not far behind.
And let's throw it to John Mitch now with the guest. John?
Okay, we're joined right now with Ken Egan, who is this year's American Irish Grand Marshal. Congratulations and welcome.
Why, thank you very much. It's a team effort, and they all elected me, and I'm so very happy and so honored. It's just this club has always lifted me up. Nancy and I have lived with this club to our darkest hour and our finest hour, and they're always there behind me. Unfortunately, I felt very ill last week. I ended up in a surgery center on Thursday, and I'm all good to go now, thank God. Everybody praying for me. I honestly didn't think I was going to be making it to this parade today.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm very happy you're here. Nancy's here. You have 2 of your grandchildren joining us as well. I want to talk a little bit about, again, it's a great honor to have been named. I did learn just yesterday that you had an issue last week, so I'm glad you're definitely with us today. So when I was reading some information on your bio, and I know I've known you and Nancy for a long time, but one of the things I did not know, while I knew you worked for New York City, while I knew you worked for, I think, over 4 administrations, 4 different mayors, I knew you were a stationary engineer. You retired, you went back to the city and to Staten Island with the hospital. But what I did not realize that both the attacks on the World Trade Center in '94 and '01, you had a role there. And let's talk about that role.
Well, what had happened, John, is I became a senior stationary engineer, and Jerry Howard from Boston came in, hired by actually Mr. Giuliani, and he developed a state-of-the-art emergency management system. So it was really developed for like hurricanes, tornadoes, bad weather, and events like that. But however, we got hit with that underground bombing in the parking lot of the World Trade Center, and what they did is they put us together as a team. I was on the engineering part of it. I didn't actually enter into that. We're all called into service. We all group in what they called at that time World Trade Center 5, and we were called in as needed. I didn't have too much to do with that one. Pretty much the federal government took over, FEMA took over and settled that, did all the investigation. But then again, when 9/11 hit, we all went down to World Trade Center 5. The second plane came into the tower, which was the first tower that fell, and we all had to evacuate. The team went down into a bunker, and Ken was the lucky one to be put on top of a building to view what's going on. And at that time, I had given the order when that building dropped to secure all our fan systems so we didn't take any of that toxins into our buildings. The Deutsche Bank actually got flooded with it, and they had to destroy the Deutsche Bank. But we actually saved all the city buildings because we shut everything down. And most companies were told just to evacuate and leave, but we didn't. Some of us stayed, and that's what we did. But anyway.
That's an incredible story. It really is. Well, thank you for that. And again, you fell shy probably of saying the word team, but you worked there together as a team. You mentioned before a team with the American Irish. Obviously, your team is a family. Again, I referred to your 3 children, and you said also earlier about the darkest days, and I know what those darkest days are and the brighter days. And then look, we have some really brightness with us, joined by 2 of your grandkids. You want to introduce them real quick?
Yes, absolutely. This is Richard Casella. He's our deceased daughter's son, firstborn, our first grandson. Very proud of him. He's wearing this Irish tuck setup for his grandpa today.
I see that.
Okay?
That's very good.
And Annabelle's our little sweet good luck charm. She's just a doll, and we adore her so much. And Annabelle's 13, and she's in track. Yes, Annabelle's in track, and Richie's a football player, and they live down in Brick.
Oh, okay. Very good. Very good. You proud of your grandfather today?
Super proud.
That's great. How about you?
Yeah, I'm very proud of my grandpa.
Okay, great. Well, again, congratulations on the honor today to being the Grand Marshal. That's wonderful for your entire family, for the organization itself. We thank you for everything you do for the organization.
And I appreciate that, John. And I want the Irish Association to know that they already know that they're my family, and there's no way that one person does this by themselves. What I do now is we all are focused on different jobs, and actually we will be starting tomorrow for next year's parade.
No doubt.
I bring all the bands to the street, I bring all the entertainment to the street. Other people do floats, other people do different facets, and if it wasn't for the team that we have, this could never happen. But anyway, it's a great honor that they chose me to do this, and I'm proudly going to walk this march.
That's great, Ken. Welcome, and thank you all for coming, okay? We're going to go back to Craig and Dan.
Here we see the Heritage Irish Dance Company. They've never marched in the Woodbridge Parade before, but so this is a special day for them and for us. but they've danced in the grandstands and other parades that we participated in. They want to know if they're going to be able to dance, so we may have a little surprise coming up for them.
That's right. Yeah, you and I are not far from the stage, so we might get a view of that along with the exterior viewers and the viewers on TV.
You might be interested to know that the dancers from this organization recently qualified for and are preparing to compete in the World Irish Dancing Championships in Montreal.
Very nice.
Yeah, they're the premier Irish dance school in New Jersey with locations around the state, including Middletown and Greenbrook. Middletown, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And they're planning on starting a new class located in Woodbridge in the fall.
Oh.
Irish dance isn't just for the Irish. At the Heritage Irish Dance Company, classes are open to boys and girls aged 3.5 and up, and are a great way for them to believe, challenge their minds. I'm sorry, be active, challenge their minds and bodies, and make new friends.
Yeah, here they go. Got a little number right here on the crosswalk. Little girl in the knit hat petered out here. The older girls keep going. Looks exhausting, doesn't it?
Yes. I think you could do it, don't you?
I don't know about that. There we go. Way to go. A roar from the crowd there. Way to go, young ladies.
Heritage
Trail, Heritage Irish
We typically
Dance
see them over at the post-parade party as well. We put on a dance, the Irish dinner dance every year. We see them.
Center, as well as Raritan Bay Medical Center.
Very common for young ladies of Irish heritage to take on Irish step dancing.
The Hackensack Meridian Health Van ambulance.
They have more than 1,000 affiliated physicians and offer a complete spectrum of advanced services.
There's 17 hospitals in there, chain stretching from Bergen to Ocean counties. They're a platinum sponsor, so thanks for that. And you're probably most familiar with their operations in Edison, known as JFK Medical Center. For their boys, the Raritan Bay Medical Center. So,
they are followed by the Ford's Fire Company #1, King George Road, Ford.
That's right.
Since 1911, they are Fire District number 7.
Next up, we have the Ford's Fire Company #1. Craig, your fire company, led by Chief Howie Bauer, our good friend.
There he is. Yeah. Established in 1911, 112 years of dedicated service. This is the 7th District, Fire District, number 7, I should say, located in Woodbridge and Fords.
Yeah, celebrating their 112th anniversary. We've probably been to their parade as well, right?
Yes, for sure. In 2023, Howie Bauer became president. Dan Gregan, Board Secretary, Fire Commissioner Brian Henry.
Good parade so far?
That's right.
A little bit more to come.
Yeah, they're located there on King George Road. They are a hybrid fire company as well, paid and unpaid volunteer firefighters. So if you have an interest, if you're from the Forge community, join the Forge Fire Company.
There you go. You'll make a difference.
Following the Ford's Fire Company is another one of our sponsors, the Learning Experience.
Also, large polling location there. What do they have? 3, 4 polling locations out of there? A lot of people familiar with that.
If you're watching, there's a referendum on the school board on for Tuesday, so get out and vote.
So children are happy to learn.
That's right. That's from 2 to 8 p.m. at your local polling place.
For 40 years, the Learning Experience has been positively impacting the lives of children ages 6 weeks to 6 years.
There we go, Learning Experience, Early Education Academy. That's probably their first parade, Dan.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with them previously. Learning Experience is down at the end of the road here at the intersection of Rahway Avenue and Main Street. I know we have Lake Bridge Academy, also a sponsor here in today's parade.
Nice view as we look up Main Street. We see the Colonia Marching Band. Boy, look how crowded this is. That's a terrific day.
Yeah, it sure is. Typically on those cold days, sometimes that one side of Main Street's a little light, but today it's pretty evenly balanced.
And we see the Marching Patriots of Colonia High School. Kevin Perdoni is their band director. Ben Barbudo is their assistant director. Jeff Leidner is their percussion instructor. Nicole Donahue is their color guard instructor. The drum majors is Des Rankin and Angelina Economos.
Yeah, the Colonial Marching Band, one of the sharpest looking marching bands in the state here with those long blue coats. They're going to be donning those uniforms when they head out to Cleveland, Ohio this May to perform at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yes. Yes, if you attend any Colonial High School football games, they keep the crowd going all night long. They're really a terrific group, as well as they take the field during halftime to put on their weekly show. Color guard carrying the appropriate colored flag.
There you go. And the Patriots are followed by the Girl Scouts of Woodbridge Township and Carteret. They consist of Girl Scouts from Woodbridge Township and Carteret. And there's some of their leaders.
That's right. They're used to this cold by now, Craig. I don't know if you saw them like I did everywhere around town selling Girl Scout cookies in the months of January and February. I've yet to crack open my box, but I did dutifully buy my Thin Mints and never miss out. They're sitting there in my refrigerator, ready to be eaten.
There you go.
Yeah, and not to be overlooked, they sell more than just cookies.
Yeah.
They're learning entrepreneurship. They're learning money management and time management. Really very useful skill for anybody later in life. And wow, there's quite a few of them, huh?
Well, all the troops march together,
Yeah.
so they have been together for a long time. So
Right.
nice to see them all come out.
Right.
And by the way, the cookies are delicious.
Yeah, the cookies are delicious, and I'm fortunate. I co-host the Colonial Cleanup with Ed McSherry, president of the American Irish. Every year, there's a semi-annual Colonial Cleanup. Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, and Cub Scouts are some of my most reliable and diligent volunteers that I have twice a year. So thank you to the Girl Scouts as well as their adult leaders.
There we go.
I know they were joined by the Alpha Lambda Psi Military Spouses Sorority Chapter out of Hopelong.
The president is Michelle Mapp. Vice president is Monique Davis. The Pi chapter was recognized for their community service involvement in Woodbridge, Delaware, and Philadelphia,
Yep.
where you were yesterday.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, Philly looked great. Once we got there, the rain stopped. Knew we were coming, and we had a great day at the International Flower Show.
Nice of the city to oblige.
Yes, that's right. City of brotherly love, you know.
You weren't wearing any New York sports gear.
No, I was not. No, I was
Probably
smart enough.
The Cornelius, let's see, visit Cornelius Low House and East Jersey Old Town Village. It's a pretty cool place. You ever been there?
I have not. I have heard about it. I have not been there.
Yeah, it's in a car or in a park along Johnson's Lane, Piscataway, right by the Raritan River.
Yeah, my understanding, I read a little bit about it. They actually discovered that town village years after it had existed. It was gone for like centuries, and they discovered it. Probably doing Yeah, so that's run by the Middlesex County Division of History and Historic Preservation with reenactors and replica buildings.
Nice.
Yes.
And we see. Is it Fords?
No, this is Island.
Oh, Island, okay.
Number 9. I'll take it away. The Island Volunteer Company, District 9, right there on Green Street in Island, led by Anthony Harlan, the chief, and president of the company and board of commissioners is Ed Mullen, former Grand Marshal and friend of ours. Great guy.
Yeah, great guy. Saw him outside before. Fixing Ken Egan's something.
That's right. And for a short time, I don't want to say for a short time, last year, because they rotate chiefs typically, they had the first ever female chief.
Way to go.
Mary Wirtz was a classmate of mine going back in the day. Her father, Kevin Wirtz, was Is a commissioner, a former councilman, and county employee, good guy as well.
That's Island Fire Company #1.
That's right. And they're an all-volunteer squad. And I'll say it again, if you're looking to get involved in your community, you consider becoming a volunteer firefighter.
That's right. Miss American Co-Ed Queens coming up.
There she is. She looks nice and comfortable up there.
First we see a very tall man juggling, and there she is. John Mish is with a special guest now. John?
Okay, I'm joined right now by Congressman Frank Pallone and our county commissioner, director of our county commissioners, Ron Rios. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have both of you join every parade here in Woodbridge. You know, today, obviously, we have great weather to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day, as we all know, it commemorates the death of St. Patrick, the finding of Christianity, Ireland making a national holiday out of it, and serving heaping amounts of corned beef and cabbage and shepherd's pie and all the good things that go with St. Patrick's Day. And we're always so blessed to have both of you actually here in Woodbridge. There's never an event that the two of you are not at. So I want to, first start, if I can, with the Congressman. Welcome back to Woodbridge once again.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have you join us here in Woodbridge. Any comments for the people of Woodbridge today?
Well, I'm always glad to be here. This is one of the biggest parades in the state, is certainly in my district. But it's also kind of like the beginning of spring, too. Like everybody comes out, there's such great floats and so many cars and people. And I think it's because people feel like, they're coming out for spring and their opportunity to, sort of herald the warmer weather, too. So we enjoy St. Patrick's Day, but we also like the fact that it's the beginning of warmer weather.
And you say spring, and we are. It's spring. It's spring a week away, but here we are today with one less hour of sleep. One of the best things, there's been no snow, a little bit of snow at the worst case so far this year. So we really had a pretty darn good winter, Commissioner.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to be here again, joining everyone in this parade. Actually, at my alma mater here, starting point, Woodbridge High School. And it's so nice, like the Congressman mentioned, that people are getting out. You mentioned people are getting out, and we're, we have cabin fever. We want to start the spring with a parade, and Woodbridge always really does better every year. They always outdo the previous year, and it's so nice to see so many people involved. And along the parade route, you see so many people watching and enjoying the parade.
As I said before, the American Irish Association, it's one of the largest organizations, if not the largest organization here in Woodbridge Township. Well-oiled machine. They do this like it's probably nothing. We know the amount of work. We're all involved in our communities. It takes a lot of people. It takes an army, and they always seem to pull it off. But again, I say this every year. I talk to the two of you. You two are always here in Woodbridge, and we really appreciate the fact you come here for every event.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
Great.
thank you for inviting us, and I appreciate coming here, and it's so nice, and everybody's Irish today.
Thank you. Absolutely. So enjoy the parade, okay?
Thank you,
gentlemen. Thank you. You too. And back to Dan and Craig.
And her velvet gloves. Melissa Oakes is the Victory Miss New Jersey.
Good luck in your upcoming competition.
Right from right here in Woodbridge.
Congratulations.
Yes, her pageant's coming up here in March. We
Good
wish
luck.
her well.
Yeah, on to the next level.
That's right.
The Woodbridge Township Ambulance and
and Rescue Squad.
Yeah.
W-TARS, as it's often known. Right there on Queen Road in Island there, behind Big Shots. Probably the best way to...
Woodbridge Township Ambulance Service there.
They're led a long time by President Ed
Barrett.
Yeah.
He was a former police officer. His son is a current police officer.
That's right.
Here we have a character who looks a lot like a more famous character who has a place in California and one in Florida.
Yes.
Whose name we don't want to mention for copyright reasons.
Well, speaking of, you ready for this, Craig?
Ready or
the
not,
copyright rights of Mickey are actually up this year in 2023. I learned this yesterday.
Wow.
Yes. Which I don't know what this is going to do as a result of that.
I don't know.
We have the Celtic Cross Pipe Band.
This is the AOA, the Brian Baru, Division 14 of Middlesex County, AOH.
Based there in South River, and one of their members, an old friend of yours, Jeremiah O'Grady.
Yeah, he's also a bagpiper in his own right. Performed at when Middlesex County had its Irish flag raising last week. Last week, perhaps.
Yeah, on the 4th there. Saturday the 4th, the great flag raising run by Woodbridge's own county commissioner, Charlie Kenny.
That's right.
He's been doing that almost a decade now.
Yeah.
And I know it's at the suggestion of American Irish Association member Frank Darcy.
Really?
Had approached that idea about doing a Middlesex County flag raising. And Charlie has since rolled that out for other ethnicities and nationalities, right?
You see the Avenel Colonia First Aid Squad. And Frank Darcy, one of those guys who was central to the American Irish here in Woodbridge.
That's right.
Terrific guy, his wife Kathy. I think they live in Woodbridge anymore, but they certainly here. They were here this morning for the flag raising. They're here at every one of the events, and, and so they are committed to the community.
They sure are.
Avenel First Aid Fire Squad is under the direction of Anthony Kersey. He's their president, and Rob Snowfield is their chief.
Yes. Been around since 1945, all volunteer squad located there on Avenel Street across from the Avenel Arts Village there. Hybrid, typically most first aid squad these days are hybrid, paid squad members during the day, but they do look for volunteers to subsidize their ranks on the nights and weekends. So if you're interested, if you're not interested in putting out fires, but you want to help people, we're looking for volunteer EMS members.
See our friends from the Perth Amboy Fire Department, one of the oldest fire departments in the state.
That's right. Led by a Woodbridge Township resident, Ed Millen. Comes from a long line of firefighters. His grandfather was also the chief in Perth Amboy.
That's right.
And here he is.
Ed, I don't know if it's Junior, but Ed the second. His dad is also Ed.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I believe they're up to a fourth at this point.
Really?
I think Ed's son. Keeping the lineage going, right?
Somewhere in there we missed the Woodbridge Corvette Club. I didn't see them.
Yeah, I didn't see them either, yeah.
Perth Amboy's been around since 1881, but here is the Woodbridge Marching Barons from Woodbridge High. Principal is Dr. Glenn Lotman. The director of bands is Jason Cohn. Color guard and winter guard directors is Nicole Tellerico and Becca Damsek. And percussion director is Dan Barnett.
Right, and a couple notes on their performances. They had their highest scoring year ever this past year. Recently performed at Disney's 50th anniversary celebration down in Orlando.
Wow.
And their percussion section has won regional or state championships in each of the past 5 years. Let's have a listen.
There they go, the Woodbridge High School Marching Barons. Great job.
They sound terrific, and a lot of times people think it's just high school age kids. However, the marching bands in Woodbridge Township allow you to participate as an 8th grader as well. So if you're listening, you're in middle school, you want to get involved early, you can do so.
See, I did not know that. Here's the cast from the Woodbridge High School Spring Musical, Matilda. You go every year to all of the high school plays, don't you, Dan?
That's right. Yeah, I try.
Callie Terrell and Tom Lynch are the directors.
Here they are, putting on a little performance there, a little preview.
Let's go!
Whitmer's dad, yeah, Matilda.
Matilda.
Folks, go see him. You won't be
Wanna see
disappointed. They
more?
always
Make
do a
sure-
great job.
If you want to see more, join them at Woodbridge High School's auditorium, March 23 through 25 at 7 p.m. And then for the matinee show, March 26 at 2 p.m. Tickets are affordable.
They just were named the best teen novelty or singing group in years.
All right, good for them.
Congratulations.
Tickets are $10 in advance, $15.
Our friends from
at the
Lightbridge
door.
Academy, largest daycare center in their daycare company in the state.
That's right.
Found it right here in Woodbridge. Right?
That's right. By our pal Guy Falzarano and his family, terrific group. I think there's a few Lightbridge academies throughout Woodbridge Township, of course, beyond as you just alluded to. Yeah. For all your child daycare needs, check out Lightbridge Academy, one of our sponsors, as well as the Learning Experience. Gonna play it fair.
Their curriculum utilizes a whole child approach to learning and enrichment, including reading, writing, and readiness programs, STEM programs, Spanish programs. So, terrific organization. Thanks for their support. There's a new center for Woodbridge High.
They shouldn't have any trouble winning any ball games with a guy that high.
Here's Aquila Lawn and Garden Services. That's the official title.
Yeah.
Lawn landscape contractors. Our friend Greg Aquila does lots of things you'll see throughout the town. You see lots of places where little signs up at intersections and islands throughout the town. He maintains them. And
that's right, and he's pulling a trailer. On the back there is the Relay for Life of Woodbridge Township, led by Tammy McCormick, mayor's wife. Always does a wonderful job.
She's very dedicated.
Relay for Life, absolutely.
Yeah, a fantastic job.
Yeah, volunteers with Relay for Life, an arm of the American Cancer Society. We've been doing it for 28 years here in Woodbridge Township and have raised over $1.5 million to support cancer research and other efforts.
That is very impressive. Thank you for what you do.
Yes.
Really, truly. Next up, the Caseby Fire Department.
Yes, one of the 9 fire districts here in Woodbridge, as we've discussed numerous times here. They're led by Chief Alex Salgado and the rest of his team, Assistant Chief Louis Montalvo, Captain Jack Croft, and Lieutenant Rick Polidora.
Yeah. They've been around since 1908. So they're well over 100 years old as well.
That's right. That's right. Greg, every year, Councilwoman Elizabeth De Jesus does a great job organizing a Caseby block party.
Yep.
And one of the big hits of that block party annually is the Caseby Fire Department coming out, letting the kids squirt the hoses, trying all their gear. It's nice of them to come out every August.
Yep. It's a good event.
Yeah, it is.
By the way.
Yeah, Elizabeth
Live
does
in
a great
Caseby.
job.
Make sure you stop by. It's usually around Labor Day. Right?
Yeah, it's right around Labor Day, right? Because we pair it with school supply giveaways and other pertinent information relative to the new school year.
And the fire department being backed up by the Sons of the Union Army, veterans of the Civil Department of New Jersey. The Sons of the Union Army are an organization which preserves the history, lineage, and heritage of the Union Army veterans who fought during the American Civil War. Robert Mayer is the past commander. John, take it away.
Okay, right now I'm joined here with both Ed and Sean. I want to start with Ed McSherry first because Ed is the president of the American Irish Association of Woodbridge. Welcome to your parade. I'm welcoming you.
Thank you. I help with the parade. Of course, Ben Campbell and Sean Daly are the center of the parade. They're the organizers, the chair and co-chair. But yes, I am president, and I'm proud to be heading this organization, hopefully to years of parades to come.
So Ed, one of the things I keep talking about to people that I'm either interviewing or just in general about how big your organization is, how well oiled it is from my perspective, the amount of involvement that you do in the community, because people, they might think it's just all about the parade, but it's not. 2 years ago, for 2 years in a row, you've had a successful halfway to St. Patrick's Day celebration. I guess, for lack of a better term, the ramp crew. We all know about the ramp crew, but we know about the ramp crew. The public doesn't always know about it. You seem to have started this committee years ago. You build ramps for residents who are in need of a ramp for their house, whether they have a disability or a handicap. You do that generally at no cost, I believe, to the homeowner,
no
the property
cost.
owner.
The township has our big support of ours. It started out with tooling around. People called saying they need ramps. Their father, their son can't get out of the house to go to a doctor's. So we began this program where we build ramps. When they're done with them, for one reason or another, we take them down, we move them around. Guys come out every other Saturday, like all year round, and all it takes is a phone call on a Friday night, and they're there on Saturday morning. I give them a lot of credit.
That's incredible. It's a wonderful program that you have. You also do other things too. I mean, you get involved in scholarships in the high schools. You get involved at Charlie Shaughnessy Cleanup Park, and that's just it's the park cleanup. And I think it has tentacles in a way, because you guys are always doing other things as well and getting involved in other community events.
Yes, all community events we look for. In fact, at meetings we encourage people to stand up and say, we have a fundraiser we need help with. The American Irish are always coming out for one reason or another Saturday. The street fair, we're a big part of the street fair. The church puts up Christmas trees. We ask the members to come out, take the Christmas trees off the truck, set them up, take them down, decorate them. So yes, we're available for most community service events.
So for today's viewers, how do they join your association?
They can go on our website, our Facebook page. We can contact myself, one of our members, and come to a meeting once a month and just join. Come to the meeting and check it out and join the club.
Okay, we certainly encourage people to do that, to build your army over there.
Yes.
Let's go over to Sean Daly for a minute if we can. This year's co-chair of the parade. I spoke to Ben earlier about all the involvement with the committee members and what it takes to put together an event like today. What are you going to learn from today that's going to help prepare you next year when this is all on your back?
Well, I learned a lot. I was actually the co-chair last year also with Ben, and to work with Ben is outstanding. He's very knowledgeable. He's very into diving into this 1,000%, and I learned so much from him and from past parade chairs. I'm friends with everybody in the club, and everybody's so friendly, and they all know I'm coming in next year to take over. They all want to help, so I don't feel I'm going to have any problems just diving in and taking control, because I've got a whole club helping me. Everyone's there. Everyone's giving their advice. They're saying what they did and what we can do better. And I've already got thoughts and plans of my own. And
well, we look
time.
forward to seeing that.
Thank
and you're following in the footsteps of a runner, Ben Campbell, a runner, right?
Yeah.
So
Well,
you know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. I'm looking down at your sneakers. Look at these St. Patrick's sneakers. This is incredible. So you've got to follow the legacy that you got Ben in front of you now. So you're going to be putting this parade together next year.
Well, quick little story. Ben and I are both runners. I
There
was
you
a
go.
runner, no more. But we both coached the Catholic grade schools. I coached in Perth Amboy for the Assumption Catholic School, and he coaches for St. James. So for years we were coaching against each other, and we didn't even know each other.
That's funny.
And we just grew closer to. Our friendship grew closer ever since then.
Two great guys, great.
And
We
when the
look
term
forward.
comes, the parade runs itself.
There you go.
Yes,
That is
absolutely.
true. Well, we look forward to next year as well. But let's get through today first.
Absolutely.
All right, gentlemen, let's go back to Dan and Craig.
Scott Camp is the director.
That's right. Woodbridge has a proud history of supporting the Civil War. Here, the Soldiers and Sailors Monument, located at the right front of Town Hall there. That's obviously a memorial dedicated to the Civil War veterans of Woodbridge Township. The one guy who's represented there on the monument is looking down Berry Street, watching over his mother's house. She sent a couple sons off to fight on behalf of the Union Army, one of them perishing and one of them coming back.
There we see the rockin' Moby Dick float. Moby's is one of our silver sponsors, or restaurants at 351 West Avenue, Sewaren. Live entertainment, open 7 days a week, has charitable events throughout the year. Fun place to go if you're in the neighborhood, or if you're not, come out and have some fun.
Sure is. Yeah, and just across the street there, they have Rankin Park there, where they host the Country Sunday concerts, and I know Moby's is more than happy to serve a few beverages to those patrons.
Exactly right. Tracy Lee Cordos is their manager. Yeah, they've been around supporting for a very long time. Moby-Vic's is one of those places that if you've been around since 1973, you know about Woodbridge, right?
Yeah,
you weren't around since '73, Dan. But
no, I have not. We'll get back to the Port Reading First Aid Squad, but passing view here is St. James School, located on Amboy Avenue. There, it's a K to 8 elementary school program for students here in Woodbridge Township and beyond.
Next up is we mentioned, but we didn't talk about it when we were in front of the camera. The Port Reading First Aid. Brian Small is their president. Michael Barcelona is their chief. They've been around since 1970, serving the people of Port Reading. And they're joined, well, now on the screen is the Port Reading Fire Department, and they've been around since 1904. So lots of service from the fire department and the first aid.
That's right.
Port Reading, one of the sections of town, really has a great sense of itself, of community. You know, people who live in Port Reading and are proud of the fact they live in Port Reading, which is just fantastic. Their chief is Daniel Korinsky, and their president is the aforementioned Brian Small.
Right. Brian comes from a lineage of members of both the First Aid Squad and the Fire Department. It's in the blood. Like you said, Port Reading, they stick together. A small section of Woodbridge Township, only about 4,000 people. They're small but mighty, as you know.
Now we have a pipe and drum group. Let's see, from Barnegat Bay, all the way from Barnegat Bay. Going to get the distance award on the pipe and drums, right?
Yeah, sure. I think they've run out of steam a little bit. They look a little peaked. It's been a long parade. We're down here at the end of the parade for those viewers that are not familiar.
But they're going to muster some oomph to perform one number for us as we look up Main Street. Let's take a listen.
They are followed by the people that were most responsible for today. The Grand General Parade Chair, Ben Campbell from Colonia. This is his second year in a row of being, I'm sorry. Thank you, Pipes and Drums.
They did a fine job.
They mustered
Pipe and Drums of Barnegat Bay.
Thank you very much.
Who had a long day. So hip hip hooray.
Yes. One of the more powerful songs that the bagpipes can play. Amazing Grace always sounds just amazing.
There we see Ben Campbell tipping the hat as he comes through. He was the parade chairman, and what a great job he did. You can tell us better than anybody, Dan. This is an immense amount of work that goes into this parade, isn't it?
It is, and we jokingly say it starts the day after today. next year will
You're
be
only
run
half
by
joking,
Sean.
I would suspect.
Yeah.
Maybe not tomorrow, but certainly by the middle of next week, you're underway, right?
Right.
You got to worry about the ad book, and there's banquets and fundraisers and all kinds of good stuff. And there we see the parade marshals who help keep this parade rolling as we get ready to wrap it up and put another shamrock next to the 49th annual. We see Tom Henderson,
the
longtime
honorees.
member. There's the honorees, Jim, and there's Ken Egan right up front.
Yeah. And a big thank you to those marshals. What they do is, for those unfamiliar, they keep all the different groups sort of paced and well spaced, and keep people on the sidelines there. They're the unsung heroes of the parade, really.
And we see some of the people from CERT.
Yep, other major helpers of this entire parade here.
The CERT team in Woodbridge, boy, those are people who really are dedicated. They come out at the toughest of times, folks. If there's something going on that's not good for the town, then we see ourselves. And hi, everybody. There we are, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Getting ahead of myself. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. March 17, Friday, March 17, St. Patrick's Day. We look forward to it every year. As we say, the Irish, everyone is Irish on St. Patrick's Day. We wish everyone a happy St.
Patrick's Day. Aaron, go broad. Dan, it's been fun.
That's right. Yeah, it has been fun. We've done this a couple times now. I've always enjoyed our time together here.
Let me thank the TV crew from Channel 35 who did a phenomenal job, just as always. Our public works folks, the police and the auxiliary and the parade marshals, as we have talked about, under the direction of Lee Beckerman. And I don't have a list of everybody, so I don't know how many. Lots of folks from Channel 35 crew. I saw Emil Brandolfi.
Gina Forbes.
Gina Forbes was here.
Blivis.
Joe Fernandez. Gara Lamada. And let's see.
I know we have Bruno Martins out there right in front of us there.
There we go. What a crew.
We touched
really
them all.
One of the best. You can't imagine a better crew. Terrific work always by Channel 35. And that will do it. Dan, your last thoughts?
Main Street is quickly clearing out. I think everyone's heading to the many post-parade parties. I hope everyone enjoyed our broadcast this morning on the American Irish. Thank you for joining us out here this afternoon.
So there you go. It's like the Oscars are tonight, so the they have post parties there. We have post parade parties here. So happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Have a great time. Craig Coughlin for Dan Harris saying thanks for watching, everybody. See you next year.
Take care.